Good evening, and thank you for having me this evening. Let me start by congratulating all 61 of you who are graduating today as Tech Leader Fellows. I am sure you have grown and developed enormously in this past 1 year, and I am certain that this experience has also grown your thirst for knowledge. But as you graduate, I'm sure you realize that this is only the beginning of a lifelong journey of learning. I resonate deeply and personally with the vision of Plaksha University to nurture the next generation of fearless leaders who will solve the toughest challenges of our planet. And you do this by integrating technology with the vibrant liberal arts education. I'm a big believer in liberal arts. I am myself a graduate of liberal arts, and today I'm closely associated with a technology company. So you don't have to be a technologist to be in a technology company. I am also acutely conscious of how important and relevant your university feels this mission is. My congratulations to the entire university community on starting on this bold journey. My address today will also try and speak about the vision of your university, about solving the toughest challenges of our planet. We have all lived through and are living through one of the toughest challenges we have ever faced. Unfortunately, none of us needs to be reminded that generations to come will remember this past year for the suffering that engulfed the world. The twin pincers of the COVID-19 pandemic and the economic devastation caused by it have created the kind of havoc in human tragedy at a scale the world has not seen, perhaps not for a century. Because even the Second World War did not ravage the whole world like COVID has. We are far from being in control of the pandemic, but there is a clear path towards that. Seen through the lens of history, where we stand today is not anything short of a miracle. The complex intertwining of life on Earth is such that pandemics have happened in the past and will in reality happen again in the future. But in the case of COVID, in less than a year, we had a highly effective solution. We developed multiple vaccines at a pace that was unimaginable before and with a degree of protection that we could have only wished for. This was nothing short of a miracle. Just imagine, just imagine if we did not have the vaccines today. Try and imagine that. Where would the world be? It just gives me the chills to even think about it. But fortunately, we have together constructed this miracle. We have the vaccines. Let me use this unfortunate tragedy that we are living through and the inspiring human achievement of the vaccine, which has become the cornerstone of all our hopes, to anchor on three key points that I want to share with you today. These 3 points are all about the character of technology and therefore its implications for all of us collectively. First, technology is not only ICT, it is not only AI or machine intelligence. Technology, in my mind, is everything that expands, deepens, increases human prowess and capacity. The first Neolithic stone tool was technology. There is a straight line on the expansion of that human capacity of smashing stones from those stone tools to large stone crushers that make way for roads today. Today, one of the greatest achievements of technology is arguably the COVID-19 vaccine. This broad perspective of the notion of technology, I think, is incredibly essential. Else, we will limit our growth and possibilities in the technology sector. Not long ago, the IT industry was about the computer and network. Today, so much around us already has a component of computer and network in it. We know this. And we need to keep broadening this perspective. The development of the vaccine required cutting-edge computing power, deeply integrated with equally cutting-edge biology, chemistry, and material sciences. To lead and grow technology, we will have to work more and more in combining and integrating areas of deep expertise. This requires teamwork across fields, but it also requires our own curiosity and learning in fields outside what may have been called technology earlier. The approach to technology education of Plaksha speaks directly to this fundamental need. The second character of technology that I want to point out is that most useful technology is that the technology that is most useful is that which addresses and serves the most important of human concerns. This seems obvious, particularly in the context of the example of the vaccine, it is incredibly obvious. However, for us as individuals, and for you particularly, who are charting out a life in the world of technology, this should be an incredibly important matter. To choose what to pursue. Going back to the vision of the university, to solve the toughest challenges of the planet, that is what you should aim to do. Let me share what I think are some of the great challenges facing us today. The first is the matter of deep inequality and injustice. Second is the matter of living in peace and harmony together. And third is the matter of climate change. All three of these matter also have a particularly fraught relationship with technology. Climate change has been significantly driven by the advances in energy technology over the past 200 years, much as also new technologies are being deployed to address climate change. On the matter of inequity, we know that technology has made wonderful things possible and generated enormous wealth for many, but it has also contributed to the concentration of economic power, thus increasing inequity and injustice. It is not simple. Both have happened together, the wonder of technology and its unintended consequences. Similarly, technology has brought us together as never before. Grandparents were together with their grandchildren through the pandemic only because of technology. Wipro was able to deliver to all its global clients without missing a beat through the pandemic because of how technology operated. However, we have to be equally conscious that technology in its many avatars has also played a crucial role in spreading misinformation and hate and in separating people at times. So on these three matters, the challenge is how to get the best of technology to address these deep and real problems, and perhaps technology leaders like yourselves need to choose a life dedicated to such endeavors. The third thing I want to talk about is that technology is not neutral to values. Let's take the case of the vaccine. The vaccine is a miracle. However, we can see how multiple factors are causing massive inequity in the deployment of the vaccine. The poorest countries are left behind. Even in countries where there is reasonable deployment, it is the vulnerable who are left behind. While we can argue that these consequences are not about the technology itself, but about their deployment. But to me, technology is nothing without its deployment and reach. The wonderful phenomena of social media is also another living example. So we, as technology leaders, at every step of the development of technology, must take the responsibility of thinking through what values will guide its deployment, its reach, and how will this happen. We will never be able to construct perfect solutions, but with each such effort, the ethical use of technology for overall human good will improve, and its intended and unintended negative consequences will, I am confident, diminish. As technology leaders, this ethical responsibility must actually be at the core of everything we do. I'm incredibly excited that the vision of Plaksha University unhesitatingly attempts to address these three fundamental matters that I touched upon. It is this kind of education which combines deep human understanding with cutting-edge technological advances, with unflinching technical commitment that will grow the technology sector, grow all of us as individuals, and help in improving the well-being of humanity overall. As I end, I wish all of you the very best and look forward to hearing great stories as you throw yourself into helping address the most important challenges of our times as ethical technology leaders. I wish you all the very best and congratulations again. And thank you again for having me.